Today I am gonna get into the recent dreams that I've had and then recent experiences, out of body attempts. Let's get into it. So I'm just gonna start off with the first one first, because last night, like just 5 hours, just like 8 hours ago or something like that, I had a dream that I met Harry Potter. And then I was like, yeah, here's what's different about this, because I haven't had a dream like this in a long time. I usually do have these adventure type dreams where I'm going somewhere new, fighting something or leading a group of people to fight something. But I woke up and I'm like, why did I just meet Harry Potter? Because like I wasn't thinking about anything like that. And then I started thinking, where have I heard this information? It was a couple of weeks ago. I was watching, it was King Cassius. I love that guy. I love listening to that guy talk. He has so much energy and so much curiosity and like experiences about different worlds. So if you want to know about different worlds and stuff like that, watch King Cassius. I saw him on Emilio Ortiz's podcast about 3 weeks ago now. He has so much insight into other worlds and like what's going on, because obviously, you know, if you're watching this, obviously you know that other worlds exist. And by the way, I have my Forest Jazz, the channel's Forest Jazz Ambience. I don't watch this channel specifically, but these just get suggested to me because I love putting on like ambiance music, ambiance jazz music, stuff like that. So cool. Like I like to scroll and find a scene that I like, and I feel like this is perfect because I'm in my bed now just talking about dreams, and I feel like that was more appropriate than, you know, The Office. But so I was watching that interview with King Cash. He was talking about other world, right? And he was the one that said, you know, stuff like Avatar, you know, on Pandora, that is like a real place. That storyline exists. Harry Potter exists, like the Harry Potter world, not like that specific character, but that world where there's a magic school and humans are there, or human-like people, and like other creatures are there, and like that kind of storyline existed there. And that's so fascinating. It didn't surprise me at all, because I've known about like, you know, fairies and stuff like that existing beyond the ice wall, and the ice wall closed off, which is why we don't normally encounter them right now. But like back in the day, like when you're thinking about The Witcher or Game of Thrones or something like that, like those are the time periods, whatever that was, where things like that existed, and they did. And why do you think there's so many stories about it? Because it existed before, where, you know, we were just encountering fairies or giants, witches, all sorts of things while we were, you know, tending the farms or selling tapestry or something like that. But the thing that surprised me was that the Harry Potter world and like the magic school of Hogwarts existed. I was intrigued by that in that video interview with him, and then like I didn't pay any mind to it, because like, I mean, I love Harry Potter. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I've read every single one of the books. I've read all the books, watched all the movies, refused to watch the movie before I finished reading the book. But like ever since that interview that I watched 3 weeks ago, I haven't really been thinking about Harry Potter, right? Because, you know, that's just there, and I've never really had any dreams about it like that too. So all of a sudden last night I have a dream that first of all, I was in this space. It was, I guess it was kind of like a school, but there was like this underground portion. There's always an underground portion that I'm going to where like shit's happening, and under there like crazy shit's happening. Me and like a group of girls were going through this tunnel. It was like a natural kind of rock tunnel, but it looked, you know, kind of manufactured. Going through this tunnel, as soon as we come out, it's like caves, like big, expansive, open cave with dim lighting around so you can see. And I was like, okay, this place is massive. I'm gonna go this way, left, and then you guys check out that way and see. First of all, in a real situation, because, you know, in a real situation, you know, we're not going to split up. You know, that's the worst decision. That's the worst decision to make, is to split up. You know, like what? Like seriously? Even if we did have magic and stuff right now, why would you split up? You're going into an unknown cave underground. Like, what? That's the worst decision to make. Anyways, so I go left, you know, I keep seeing the formations. So far, everything's empty. It looks like abandoned, but it looks like people created all these structures on purpose. So I see a ramp going far, maybe like 200 feet up to like kind of a stage looking thing. And I feel this dark energy. I feel sinister energy. It was sinister because the whole thing kind of felt like a little bit weird because like we're gonna see what's up in there. I felt a sinister energy, and on the stage after the ramp there were girls that I for the life of me don't exactly remember what they were doing, but I remember what happened. So there were like a couple of girls there, but like one of them was like taking advantage of people. Like I don't know if they were like recycling their souls or something like that. I don't know, but they were all like ghost-like creatures, kind of like Dementors in Harry Potter, but not real. Like you see their, I guess, soul body, but they kind of look ghostly. But they were up to no good. That's why I felt this like very sinister energy from them. And as soon as I peeped that, I was like, oh shit, I need to turn around right now before they see me and tell my girls we cannot go down there and we need to get out here as soon as possible. So like as soon as I turned around, I felt them looking at me. They like finally saw me. I was like, fuck. So like I was flying, literally. I was like flying down the ramp, flying down the cave. I'm like, I go. I wasn't running, I was flying, like gliding. And I felt them like trying to come after me, chase after me, but they were a bit slow because they had to like, first of all, kind of stop whatever ritual they were doing and then go down the ramp and then chase me. But I knew they were behind me. I knew they were following me. So I finally got to the midpoint where we came through. The girls were there. I'm like, bro, we gotta go. So we just jetted out from where we came from. And that's that. So I was at this school. It was kind of like I was like a character in Harry Potter. I was out of school, but it wasn't anything. It was like just related to business or something, like something boring. Yeah, but so I was at this school, you know, getting my on track for my courses or whatever. But then I had to have a job for some reason being at that school. So I was like, okay, shit, I gotta go to work now. Oh my God, these jobs are always just tethering us to reality, right? So I was like, shit, I gotta go work now. But it was pretty cool. I worked in like a library with like different artifacts that visitors from would have to kind of like get a ticket to come in to that library to see the artifacts that they write down that they want to see. And if we have it, cool. If we don't, they might get something similar. It was really interesting. The thing about this job was, this is like my whole life in the dream, okay? Like this, when you're in a dream and you know certain things about that life, you know, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, does this happen to everybody where you're in this dream and you just have knowledge about that dream person that you are in that life that has nothing to do with you here? Like, it has nothing to do with you here. But you just have that knowledge, like, oh, I need a da-da-da-da. Like, you have that record of who you are in that space. So normally I work like 2 hours a day at the library, but that day, and then here's what happened. I was doing my little shift, and then I went out in front of the library, the entrance, the hallways. I saw Harry Potter. I saw Harry, and yes, he was like kind of like a celebrity too over there. I was like, oh my God, Harry Potter, that's Harry Potter. But like I walked up to him because like he was doing his thing too. Like he visits the library sometimes, like he's in the space, whatever. But no, I walked up to him because of the experience I just had in the tunnels. But first of all, I was like, oh my God, Harry, I'm a big fan, love you, whatever. Kept it short, right? Kept it cute, short, but acknowledge, big fan, right? Yes, Harry Potter, first time meeting you. But he was very tall. He was very, I guess because I'm short, I don't know. I identify as being short in my dream self too. He was very tall, but he was very serious. After I gave him that acknowledgement and compliment, he was like, thank you. Kind of like, you know, thank you, go on. Why are you talking to me? But not in a mean way, just like, he meant business. I'm like, okay, there is an underground tunnel that has sinister spirits in there. I just got out of there and I want to bring that to your attention. Then all of a sudden, Hermione is like right here to my right, a little bit behind. She comes up. And then Harry looks at her. She's like, is that the place that you've identified? Basically, is that the place that we're trying to get to? And Hermione says, yes, she confirms. And I was like, oh shit. So they know about it. I've been there. It's real. And then Harry's like, okay, we're going to need your help, Nana. We are going to need your help to locate that cave and tell us exactly where you saw them. Like, lead us to them. I'm like, bet. Okay. And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna reconvene in a few hours and we're gonna go down there to fight them, I was like, bet. Because that was already my, not plan, because I kind of ran out of that cave, but now that I know was going down there. We need to do something about this. That's why I contacted Harry, or luckily Harry showed up. So I was like, bet, let me just try to get out of my shift. Well, I didn't tell them all this. Like, I left to go back to the library. And I'm like, dang, let me try to get out of the shift, right? There's probably only like 45 minutes left until lunch. And lunch is when I usually end my shift. Apparently, that day, they decided to change my schedule to where I was working till like 3 p.m. So it would have been a total like a 6-hour shift. Like, I started really early. I don't know, the timing was weird. But I was like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden I was on like me right now mode. I'm like, hold on, I can't be working 6-hour shifts and go to school at the same time. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's the whole reason why I accepted this job, is because I only worked a couple hours a day and then I went to school so I can focus on my studies. And actually that's just now hitting me that that's what I'm dealing with in real life. Like, I had multiple opportunities to get into another full-time position for the same or more pay, but I came to the conclusion, like, no, I am loving what I'm doing right now. I have time to cultivate other things in my life. Why would I spend so much time at work? I no longer have the ability to cultivate the things that I want in my life, the things that enrich my experiences, you know, like education. So that just hit me that that's what was happening. Because what am I gonna be at work and put off following Harry and Hermione into the cave to fight these Dementor ghost ladies? No, I'm not. Some people might say, yes, I'm scared, but no, I'm down to go fight. Like, that's just who I am in dreams. There are more important stuff at large right now, and we need to address those. We need to fight for the world instead of finishing my shift at the library. Because wow, that is so relatable to what's going on right now. And it's not just like, I've always known that, and like that's like a big thing right now for everybody, is that there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on with consciousness, with things being revealed and the truths, and a lot of people are tired of going to work. A lot of people are wising up to the fact that right now what they're doing may not, number one, matter to the events of the world going on. It's also a lesson to not stress about work, when, not that there's other things that you need to be stressed about, but there's a more important thing than this tiny work contract. A work contract is down here, and the contract to yourself is up here. And then maybe there's things like the contract for like this world and this construct and like what's going on, or maybe those are equal, maybe the contract for yourself and the world, because that's kind of intertwined. And you can say that, yeah, you create your reality, so you can say that you kind of create your world or can influence the events as a collective in this world. That needs to say, like, a contract that you sign in this world is not above anything that has to do with your life purpose. It's just not. And if a contract that you sign in this world is in alignment with your life purpose, that's a different thing. But it's never going to be more than your life purpose. It's just not. The things that we get into down here, it's all temporary. So I was like, I'm not gonna let work stop me from going down to this cave and fighting these Dementors with Harry Potter and Hermione. So I was like, I gotta figure out a way to get out of this. And then I was contemplating, like, what if I just quit? Like, seriously, because number one, they're changing my schedule out of nowhere. So now I'm working more than double the hours that I thought was even possible for me to begin with. And now I have something super important to do, that souls are on the line. So I have no choice really right now but to quit this, so I can keep my promise to Harry and Hermione and go with them to fight these Dementor, sinister girls down in that cave. So yeah, that's where I left off. What else happened? Something else. But even when I woke up, like, it was just slipping my mind pretty quickly, because I was also concerned about what time it was, because I had to be up at a certain time for this meeting. But I guess I did write this down on my dream journal tracking app that's on my phone. I think that was also basically the conclusion of that was I had to quit my job in order to save the world, or, you know, save whatever was happening down there. So that was that, and I just want to talk about that because I'm going to get into the out-of-body experiences I had last week, Monday. But I want to talk about that because that was so cool and intriguing. I met a celebrity, Harry Potter. That came out of nowhere, but I'm like, yeah, I did watch that interview with King Cash like 3 weeks ago about that other world, and I kind of experienced some of that in my dream. Wasn't lucid though. It was kind of those... It was like a normal dream, but it was kind of those dreams where like a lot is happening and it's hard for me to keep up to record and memorize everything that's happening. And then with waking up and having other things on my mind, automatically some of the details slip through, but that was basically the gist of it.